He trusted her with his life. But one afternoon, when his pregnant wife left home every day crying, he decided to follow her. What he saw that day shattered him. Michael and Lillian were the couple everyone envied. You know the type. The ones who still held hands after 3 years of marriage. The ones who slow danced in the kitchen when the rice was burning. The ones who made love look easy. Before we go any further, can I ask you for one small favor? This story took me days to write, record, and edit. Every frame, every emotion, every sound. It costs you nothing to support me, but it truly means everything. Please, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment your location below. I want to know where my amazing viewers are watching from. I read every single comment, and I'll be giving shout-outs in my next video. Today's shout-out goes to Margaret from Bronx, New York, Florence from Germany, Michael Duncan from Europe, and Campbell from Jamaica. Now back to our story. Lillian was 7 months pregnant now. Glowing. That's what everyone said. Her skin radiated warmth. Her laugh filled their small apartment. Michael would catch himself just watching her sometimes, wondering how he got so lucky. They'd spend Saturday mornings shopping for baby clothes. Tiny socks that made them both laugh. A crib they spent 4 hours assembling, arguing over the instructions, then collapsing in laughter when they realized they'd put the legs on backward. Sunday afternoons were for doctor's appointments. Michael never missed one. He'd sit beside her, holding her hand, watching the ultrasound screen. The heartbeat. That steady pulse that said everything was perfect. But silence has a way of creeping into laughter. Slowly. So slowly you don't notice until it's already there. It started 3 weeks ago. Lillian checking her phone more often. Not casually. Purposefully. Secretly. She'd look at the screen, her face would change, and she'd slip it back into her pocket before Michael could see. Conversations that used to flow like water became forced. Her smiles didn't reach her eyes anymore. Every day at 3 o'clock, she would grab her purse and say the same thing. I'm going to visit a friend. I'll be back by 6. Every single day. Same time. Same words. At first, Michael didn't think much of it. But then it became a pattern. 3 o'clock. Every day. Rain or shine. And she always came back different. Quieter. Her eyes red like she'd been crying. Michael trusted her. He did. But trust doesn't silence the questions that wake you up at 3 in the morning. One Tuesday night, he heard water running late. Past midnight. He got up and found the bathroom door closed, light seeping out. He knocked softly. "Baby, you okay?" The water shut off. Then the door opened. She'd been crying. Face swollen, mascara smudged. She wiped her eyes quickly, forcing that smile. "What's wrong? Talk to me. Please." She shook her head. "It's nothing. Just hormones. Pregnancy emotions." He tried to pull her close. She let him, but her body was tense, like she was holding something back. "There's nothing wrong," she whispered. "Please don't worry." He led her back to bed, held her until he thought she was asleep. Then she screamed. Not a small cry. A real scream that tore through the darkness. "Please don't take him. Please. I'll do anything." Michael shook her gently. "Lillian, baby, wake up. You're dreaming." Her eyes flew open, wild with panic. Then tears, streaming down her face. "Just a nightmare," she managed to whisper. "You want to talk about it?" "No. Too fast. Too defensive." I just want to sleep. But she didn't sleep. He felt her lying there, eyes open in the darkness, carrying whatever weight was crushing her alone. The next morning was Thursday. 3 o'clock came. I'm going to visit a friend. I'll be back by 6. Michael watched from the window as she got into a taxi and disappeared. He stood there for 5 minutes. 10. Fighting with himself. Then he grabbed his keys. He told himself this was wrong, that he was being paranoid, that he was destroying their marriage with suspicion. But his hands were already turning the ignition. His car was already following that taxi 2 cars ahead. He kept his distance. Heart pounding, palms sweating. Every red light felt like an eternity. The taxi took her across town, away from anywhere her friends lived, away from anything familiar. 30 minutes later, it stopped in front of a small clinic. Barely a clinic. More like a converted house with a faded sign. She got out and went inside. Michael parked across the street, watching. His mind racing through possibilities, each one worse than the last. 1 hour passed. Then 2. When she finally came out, her face was swollen from crying. She stood on the sidewalk for a moment, like she needed to gather herself before facing the world. Then she called another taxi and left. Michael felt sick, like someone had punched him in the stomach. He drove home, got there before her, pretended he'd been there all afternoon. When she walked in at 6:15, he searched her face for answers. Found none. How was your friend? Good. Fine. The lie sat between them like a third person. The next morning, Friday, he called in sick. He needed answers. He drove to the clinic alone. Walked to the front desk. I need to know what my wife was doing here yesterday. Her name is Lillian. She's 7 months pregnant. I'm her husband. The nurse's face went cold. Sir, I can't share patient information. I'm her husband. Then ask your wife. The way she said it. Like there was a secret worth protecting. Please, just tell me if she's okay. If the baby's okay. The nurse shook her head. You need to talk to your wife. That weekend was torture. Both of them lying with every word, every touch, every forced smile. Monday came. 3 o'clock approached. I'm going to visit a friend. This time, Michael was already in his car, waiting. He followed her taxi again. Expected it to go to the clinic. But this time, it didn't. The taxi went to the clinic, but Lillian didn't go inside. She walked around the building, down a narrow path, to a small compound. It looked like an orphanage. Old playground equipment, peeling paint, a hand-painted sign that said, Hope House Children's Home. Michael moved closer, staying hidden. Through a window, he saw her. Lillian, his wife, 7 months pregnant, and a boy, maybe 8 years old, thin, big eyes. The boy ran to her. Mama! Michael froze. Lillian wrapped her arms around him, held him like he was the most precious thing in the world. She gave him things from her bag. Toys, snacks, a new shirt. The boy's face lit up. A nurse approached them. He misses you every day, you know. He asks when you're coming back. Lillian's voice was thick with tears. I know, baby. Soon. I promise. Michael stumbled backward. She has a child. She has a son. All this time. She has a son she never told me about. The betrayal hit him like a physical blow. Every memory suddenly felt like a lie. He got to his car somehow, drove home somehow, sat in the driveway for an hour. She came home at 6, smiling, asking about his day, and Michael looked at her and saw a stranger. That night, he couldn't pretend anymore. Lillian. Who is that boy? Her hands stopped. The baby clothes she was folding fell to the floor. What? The boy at the orphanage. At Hope House. The one who calls you Mama. The color drained from her face. Michael, Who is he? Silence. Long and suffocating. Then she broke. Sobs that came from somewhere deep. Somewhere buried. She collapsed onto the floor, arms wrapped around herself. Before I met you, she finally managed, something happened to me. She couldn't look at him. I was 19. I was at a party. I had a drink. Just one. But I started feeling strange. Dizzy. Everything got blurry. Michael's stomach dropped. I don't remember most of that night. I remember waking up in a room I didn't recognize. My clothes were wrong. I was hurting. I was alone. And I knew something terrible had happened. Her voice cracked. I got pregnant. I didn't know who. I just wanted to disappear. She looked up at him finally. My family found out. They were so angry. So ashamed. They said I was bringing disgrace to them. That I'd ruined my life and theirs. Michael felt his chest constricting. I gave birth to him when I was 20. A boy. Beautiful. Perfect. And I wanted to keep him. But my family wouldn't let me. They said I had no husband. No money. No future. They said the kindest thing I could do was give him up. She was shaking now. They took him to Hope House. Made me sign papers. Told me to forget. To move on. To never speak of it again. Her voice dropped to a whisper. So I tried. I finished school. Got a job. Met you. And you were so good. So kind. You made me feel like maybe I could be whole again. She looked at him, eyes pleading. But when I got pregnant with our baby, everything came back. The guilt. The shame. The image of his face when I left him. Her hand went to her stomach. I couldn't do it again. I couldn't have another child and pretend the first one didn't exist. So I started visiting him, trying to be something to him, trying to make up for abandoning him. She crawled toward him. I was going to tell you. I swear. But I was so scared you'd leave me. Her voice broke completely. I'm so sorry. Michael sat there, frozen. The betrayal was shifting into something else. Something more complicated. She hadn't cheated. She'd been carrying trauma, pain, shame. But she'd still lied. 4 months. Years. He stood up slowly. Michael, please. He walked to the bedroom without saying anything. The sound of rain started, drumming against the windows. 3 days passed. They moved around each other like strangers. He slept on the couch. They spoke in careful sentences. But something gnawed at him. The look on her face when she held that boy. The guilt she'd carried alone. The trauma she'd survived. And the boy. That child who didn't ask for any of this. Who missed his mother every day. On the 4th day, Saturday morning, he drove back to Hope House. He walked to the front door. The same nurse answered. I'm looking for the boy. His mother has been visiting. Lillian. Recognition flashed across her face. "Are you Michael?" "Yes." Her expression changed, became concerned. "The boy's not here. He's at City General Hospital. His condition got worse. They rushed him there Wednesday night." Michael's heart skipped. "Which hospital?" He drove there in a daze. "Third floor. Room 304. Through the window in the door, he could see her, Lillian, sitting beside a hospital bed, holding a small hand, eyes closed, lips moving. He pushed the door open quietly. She was praying, "Please God, don't take him too. I already left him once. Please don't take him from me. Please." The boy was asleep, pale, for in his arm, monitors beeping. Michael took one step into the room. The floor creaked. Lillian's eyes flew open. She looked up, startled. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then Michael walked over, took her other hand. She collapsed against him, sobbing. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll face this together," he whispered. "Whatever this is. We'll face it together." She looked up at him. "You're not leaving?" "No, I'm not leaving." They sat there for hours. The boy stirred, opened his eyes, saw Lillian. "Mama!" She moved to his side immediately. "I'm here, baby." He looked past her, saw Michael. "Who's that?" "I'm Michael. I'm your mama's husband." The boy studied him. "Are you going to take her away?" "No, I'm not going to take her away. I promise." The door opened. A doctor walked in with a clipboard. "Mr. and Mrs. Michael. I'm her husband." The doctor nodded. "We just got the results. We've been searching for compatible donors. We ran the boy's blood type against our database." He paused, looking at Michael directly. "Sir, your blood type matches his. Perfectly. Based on genetic markers, he's your biological son." The words didn't make sense. "That's impossible. I've never." Then it hit him. 4 years ago. The charity blood drive at his workplace. They told him his donation went to a child in critical condition at an orphanage. He'd never thought about it again. "I donated blood," Michael said slowly. 4 years ago. They said it went to an orphanage." The doctor checked his clipboard. "That aligns with our records. The boy received an emergency transfusion 4 years ago. Life-saving. Without it, he wouldn't have survived." Michael looked at the boy. This child, born from Lillian's trauma, kept alive by his blood, before they ever knew each other. "You saved him," Lillian whispered. "Before you even knew me?" Michael couldn't speak. "I don't understand," Lillian said. "How is this possible?" The doctor cleared his throat. "I don't pretend to understand coincidences like this, but the facts are clear. You saved his life once, and now you're here when he needs you again." The boy was watching, confused but sensing something important. Michael moved to the bed. "What's your name?" "Daniel." "Daniel. That's a strong name. Are you mad at my mama?" Michael glanced at Lillian, then back at Daniel. "No, I'm not mad. Are you going to help her take care of me?" Something in Michael's chest cracked open. "Yes, if that's okay with you." Daniel nodded slowly. "Okay." Over the next 2 weeks, Daniel's condition improved. Michael and Lillian took turns staying with him. They played games, told stories, slowly built something that resembled family. One night, after Daniel fell asleep, they sat together. "I should have told you from the beginning," Lillian said quietly. "I understand why you didn't. I thought secrets protected love. But I was wrong. Truth saved us." Michael took her hand. "I followed you because I was afraid. But what I found was grace. The family I never knew I had." 3 weeks later, they brought Daniel home. Their apartment suddenly felt full. Daniel was quiet at first, uncertain. But slowly he settled, started laughing, started calling it home. They started therapy together. It was hard. There were sessions where they all cried, where Daniel asked impossible questions. "Why did you leave me?" Lillian held his hand. "Because I was scared. And young. And people I trusted told me it was right. But they were wrong. And I'm so sorry. Do you love me? More than anything." 2 months later, Lillian was 8 months pregnant. Very pregnant. At 3 in the morning, she shook Michael awake. "It's time." They woke Daniel to tell him. He started crying. "Don't leave me. Please." Lillian knelt down. "I'm not leaving you. I'm going to have a baby. Our baby. Your brother or sister. And then I'm coming right back. I promise." Labor was long. 16 hours. Then the doctor said, "It's a girl." But the doctor didn't stop. "Wait. There's another one. Another baby. You're having twins." No one had caught it. But here, in this moment, a second baby was coming. Another girl. 2 daughters. Unexpected. Perfect. Michael called their neighbor, put Daniel on the phone. "You have 2 sisters. Twins. 2. Really? Really? You're a big brother to 2. That afternoon, they brought Daniel to the hospital. He climbed onto the bed carefully. "This is your family," Lillian whispered. "All of us. Together." Daniel stared at the babies. "They're so small." "You were that small once," Michael said. "And now look at you. So strong." Over the next few months, life was beautiful chaos. 2 newborns. An 8-year-old learning to be a big brother. Daniel was gentle with the twins. He'd bring diapers. Sing to them. Tell them stories about being scared and finding home. One Saturday morning, 6 months later, Michael said, "I've been thinking. I want to do something for Hope House. For other kids like Daniel." "What kind of something?" "A foundation. Make it a place where kids don't just survive but thrive. I want to call it Grace Home." They spent the next year working on it. Renovating Hope House. Better facilities. Therapy services. Everything those children deserved. The opening ceremony was emotional. Michael stood at the podium, his family beside him. "A year and a half ago, I followed my wife because I was afraid. What I found was a boy who'd been waiting for his mother. A son connected to me through blood I'd donated years before." He looked at Daniel. "I found grace. Not the kind you earn. The kind that finds you when you're lost." Michael's voice cracked. "This place is for every child who feels forgotten. It's a reminder that families come together in unexpected ways. That redemption is possible." Lillian stepped forward. "I was 19 when I had Daniel. Scared. Told I was making the right choice by leaving him. For 9 years, I believed I was too broken to be his mother." She looked at the children. "If you're here, you might feel forgotten. But you are not. Your story isn't over. Mine wasn't." Daniel's wasn't. And yours isn't either. Daniel stepped forward. I lived here until I was 8. I waited every day for my mom. Some days I thought she forgot about me. His voice was small but brave. But she didn't. And when she came back, everything changed. If you're waiting, don't give up. Your family is coming. The ribbon was cut. Children ran to the new playground. Laughter filled the air. Years passed. Daniel grew. Graduated high school. Got accepted to university. Wanted to study social work. The twins grew too. Grace wanted to be a therapist. Hope wanted to be a teacher. Grace Home Foundation expanded. 7 locations. Over 1,000 children helped. One evening, years later, the whole family gathered for dinner. Daniel was grown now. The twins were teenagers. Michael looked around the table. At this family born from trauma and impossible coincidences. 17 years ago, I followed your mother because I was afraid. What I found was Daniel, a boy who needed a family, a woman who needed forgiveness, and a path I never could have imagined. He looked at each of them. You are my greatest adventure. This strange, complicated, beautiful family is everything I never knew I needed. He raised his glass. I followed your mother expecting betrayal. I found grace. I found hope. I found love in its truest form. To families, they echoed. Later that night, Michael and Lillian sat on their porch. Do you think we've done right by them? Lillian asked. I think we've done our best. We've loved them. We've shown up. That's all we can do. She leaned her head on his shoulder. I never thanked you properly. For staying. For choosing us. You thank me every day. By being here. By letting me be part of this impossible, beautiful story. Somewhere in the city, children were sleeping at Grace Home, dreaming of families they'd one day find. Somewhere, their children were safe and loved. And here, 2 people who'd found each other through fear and followed that fear to grace, sat together. The husband had secretly followed his pregnant wife. What he saw broke him. But what grew from that breaking was a family. Unconventional, unexpected, unplanned, and absolutely worth every moment. Sometimes, life breaks us, only to rebuild us stronger. Michael followed his fear and found family. Lillian faced her past and found forgiveness. And Daniel found love that never gave up on him. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Click like, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories that remind us that grace still finds us even when we're lost.